Hi, I'm Graham Moore. I want to take a few minutes to talk to you about how you can transform the success of your organisation. Yes, transform. So, what is needed? Well, the success of any organisation is directly related to the leadership which exists or is lacking in that organisation. It's one of the biggest challenges facing companies and organisations globally. Recently, in the UAE, I read a report that indicated that 78% of companies who were surveyed regarded leadership as a critical need for development. 78%. Even if it was as low as 48%, it's still a significant number. And it has a direct effect on the bottom line, as well as developing that company into the future. I've been presenting leadership development programs and programs which support leadership development for around 18 years. Before that, I worked for about the same number of years in the corporate world and at a senior level. So I have many years of leadership experience firsthand. I worked with some very good, even inspiring leaders. And I've had experience with people in leadership roles who simply didn't have the skills required. For all those years, I observed, I engaged in, and I learned. I shared and supported. I was an avid student as well as a passionate practitioner and one who was passionate about developing leadership skills in others. I now deliver a program which is one of the most highly regarded leadership development programs in the world. It's called the Leadership Challenge. You may have heard of the book of that name. It was first published over 25 years ago, and the 5th edition has now been published. Now that says something about any book, but a book on leadership, that puts it in a very special category. If you haven't read the Leadership Challenge, I highly recommend it. Written by Jim Kouzes and Barry Posner, the Leadership Challenge sets out the 5 practices of exemplary leadership. Practices? Well, that's what you do and keep doing. Leadership Challenge is a leadership program which I'm proud to be able to present for you and organisations like yours. It can be a 2 or a 3 or even a 4-day course, depending on your needs. The program sets out the fundamentals of leadership. The first is this: leadership is everybody's business. Yes, yours and mine, and everybody at all levels in your organisation. Leadership requires practice, deliberate practice. You have to keep on practicing and, of course, learning. Did you know that the best leaders are also the best learners? Fundamental to the course is the assessment which Jim and Barry have developed to assess how well, how often leaders are demonstrating the 5 practices and how others are observing them doing it. This assessment is called the Leadership Practices Inventory, or LPI, and it's a fantastic tool to assist, to guide an individual's ongoing development in leadership. The LPI is one of the most widely used leadership assessment tools in the world, and for very good reason. It relates directly to the behaviours of exemplary leadership, backed up by continuous research, as well as direct application wherever leadership is important. Now, I'm also accredited to deliver the Myers-Briggs Type Indicator, or MBTI assessment. And the LPI can be presented in a way that provides participants with the added advantage of knowing how to incorporate these leadership practices of the LPI based on their MBTI type. Now, it's not too often that significant organisations have provided a platform to combine the value of 2 tools like this. And I'm delighted to be able to offer you both. The Leadership Challenge has been backed up by consistent and robust academic research, which has been going on for the last 30 years. In fact, the findings are evidence-based. That's why I call the program robust. And do you know what the research says? It says that even now, the same practices of exemplary leadership, which were set out 30 years ago, still apply today. Now, I'm always impressed when a learning program can show how an individual has improved as a result of taking on the new learning. But the Leadership Challenge delivers the results in a way that no other leadership development course I know of can do. It not only reports on the individual change, but importantly, it collects and reports on how the changes are being delivered at an organisational level. Now, isn't that something you'd like to hear for your organisation? As I've said, I've been involved in leadership development for many years. I can honestly say I am proud to be able to deliver leadership development which continues to be at the forefront of leadership development. That is the Leadership Challenge. It's regarded worldwide as the most practical model of leadership development. The 5 practices of exemplary leadership sets out a measurable, learnable and teachable set of behaviours which will make a difference in your organisation. Leadership is a choice. Are you going to choose to accept the challenge to lead and to help others to do the same? Developing your leaders can transform your organisation's success. It will be my pleasure to talk to you about how you and your organisation can achieve exemplary leadership with the Leadership Challenge.